So students, today we are learning new chapter as we have finished chapter reproduction in organisms. So next chapter what we are going to discuss is sexual reproduction in flowering plants. So we will discuss how sexual reproduction occurs in angiosperms. Angiosperm means flowering plants, the plants which produces flowers. So chapter is sexual reproduction in flowering plants. First we should understand which is the part of the plant which is involved in sexual reproduction. Sexually reproductive part of the plant is flower. Okay, so flower is a sexually reproductive part. Why flower is a sexually reproductive part? Because reproductive organs like male and female reproductive organs required for reproduction are present in the flower. So that is why flower is called sexually reproductive part. Okay, so let us see how it is produced. So the chapter starts with the fascinating structure called flower. Why chapter starts with flower? Because see, chapter is sexual reproduction in flowering plants. We are not discussing about gymnosperms or algae, bryophytes, pteridophytes because they don't produce flowers. We are discussing only about angiosperms, means the plants which produces flowers. Flower is a sexually reproductive part. So as we have learned in first chapter, there are 3 events in sexual reproduction or 3 steps in sexual reproduction. If you remember, what are those steps? Events of sexual reproduction. Already you know, first chapter you have already learned it. So events of sexual reproduction, number 1. The process which occurs before fertilization is called pre-fertilization. You already know this. Pre-fertilization. Under this pre-fertilization, first step should be gametogenesis, that is formation of gametes. You already learnt it. Then gamete transfer. Then the second step is when male and female gametes, that is male and female sex cells, are ready to meet. So they actually meet. That process is called fertilization. In case of flowering plants, that is angiosperms, special type of fertilization is there, that is called double fertilization, triple fusion. You have learnt in first year PUC. Once again you have to learn here. Okay, then after fertilization, the changes will be called as post-fertilization changes. Post-fertilization changes. What all comes under post-fertilization changes? That is formation of zygote, formation of embryo, seed, and seeds will be produced within a fruit. Then this chapter will get over. So in short, I told you entire chapter, but this chapter is very big chapter because step by step, all these steps one by one we have to learn. So first part of the chapter what we are learning is pre-fertilization events. What is this? Pre-fertilization events. What happens before fertilization? You can clearly see that before fertilization, gametes should be produced, male and female gametes. Then gametes should be transferred. Then they come together. When gametes come together, then actual meeting of gametes, union of gametes called fertilization. So before fertilization, even in human beings also, male produces sperm and female produces egg. First it should be produced in their body, then only then male will transfer sperm to female, then only sperm and egg can meet. So already human reproduction chapter you have learnt, you know. Same way in plants also, male and female gamete should be first, it should be produced. Okay, so that is pre-fertilization event. Then one more is the gamete transfer, gamete production and gamete transfer. So we learn about pre-fertilization here. So flower is a sexually reproductive part in a angiosperms because flower contains male and female reproductive part, and these reproductive parts are involved in sexual reproduction. So flower is a sexually reproductive part. Flower is sexually reproductive part because flower contains both male and female reproductive organs, and these organs are involved in sexual reproduction. So flower is a sexually reproductive part. Okay, so how this flower is produced? First of all, first flower should be produced, then we can think of male and female reproductive organs in the flower. So how the flower is produced? First, in a plant, a branch is produced, a special branch is produced, you know, the branch containing floral buds or flower bud. Flower buds should be produced first, but before flower bud is produced, there will be floral primordium. So let us go one by one slowly. Let us see how flower is produced in a plant. Number one, on a stem of plant, special structure is produced which in future becomes a flower. A special structure is called floral primordium. Name only says primordium is first formed cell, primitive cell. Later it produces flower. So the primordial cells will be produced, then the primordial cells will produce inflorescence. Inflorescence means a special branch of a plant which produces flower buds or floral buds. Then floral buds will be produced. ಅಂದರೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಸಿಂಪಲ್, ಸ್ಟೆಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ದಟ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಮುಂದೆ ಅದು ಫ್ಲವರ್ ಆಗೋದು, ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಫ್ಲೋರಲ್ ಪ್ರೈಮೋಡಿಯಂ. ದೆನ್ ಇಟ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸಸ್ ಅ ಬ್ರಾಂಚ್ ವಿತ್ ಫ್ಲೋರಲ್ ಬಡ್ಸ್, ಅಂದರೆ ಹೂವಿನ ಮೊಗ್ಗು ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಬಡ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ದೆನ್ ದ ಫ್ಲೋರಲ್ ಬಡ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಅ ಫ್ಲವರ್. ದೆನ್ flower should produce, flower cells should differentiate and produce male and female reproductive part. What are those male and female reproductive part? You know that male part is, in a flower, male reproductive part is called androecium. You already know this. Androecium, nothing but stamens. And female reproductive part is gynoecium. Gynoecium, sometimes also called as pistil, sometimes also called carpel, but the proper word used for gynoecium is pistil. Okay, what will be there in the androecium? Male reproductive part will be stamens, that is, it will have a structure like this on the top. This is called anther. The knob-like structure present on the top is called anther, and the long, slender, stick-like structure is called filament. The word filament means like a thread. So this part is male reproductive part. Then female reproductive part will be 3 parts there, like this. If you remember. So this part is called ovary, then a long slender structure called style, and the cup like structure or knob like structure on the top is called stigma. You already know this from primary school, you were learning. Ovary, style, stigma are the 3 parts. Together it is called gynoecium. So androecium, or also called stamen, is a male reproductive part which is involved in sexual reproduction, and a gynoecium which has ovary, style, stigma. Gynoecium is also called pistil. This is a female reproductive part which takes part in sexual reproduction. Because flower contains these 2 male and female reproductive parts, that is why flower is a sexually reproductive part. Indirectly I am saying because of flower only sexual reproduction occurs. Okay, so now definitely that means we have to learn about structure of flower. How the parts will be, we will see now. Already you have learned, but also we have to go in a systematic manner. Every word in the textbook we should cover, every sentence in the textbook we should cover, because for entrance exams and all, every sentence is important. Okay, not leaving any sentence we will discuss. So fascinating organ, flower, parts, if you see. So let us draw the structure of flower. Very simple structure. Very simple structure you can draw. It is easy. Okay. This is easy structure. You can easily draw. So you have to draw the stamens now. Even you can slightly elongate this structure. Okay, so now you have to draw the petal. It is easy to draw the structure of flower. Even simpler way also you can draw. Okay, you can see the structure of flower here. You can even make it deeper, like this. Okay, so what all parts are there, we will just label in a flower. So this is a part, with that part only we hold the flower. For example, a rose, if you are holding a rose in your hand, that green color stick like what you hold, that is called stalk. Stalk, also called as pedicel, stalk or pedicel. Then this part with the disc like structure, cup like structure, which is holding the entire flower. Idi flower anna etkondiruvanta part, that cup like part, that this part is called thalamus. Correct pronunciation, thalamus. In Indian English we say thalamus. Okay. Then at the base of the flower you see small green leaf-like structure, that is this part, that this will be sepals. Sepals, single sepal. In English we call sepal, but in biology we call it as calyx. Sepal is also called calyx. Then this is a petal in English. In biology we call it as corolla. Corolla means petals, calyx means sepals. Usually petals will be bright, colorful. In different flowers, different color, it varies. Okay, then very important, now we have to discuss reproductive parts which are involved in sexual reproduction. Number one, these are the structures. This is called stamens, or usually called androecium. Androecium is a male reproductive part in a flower. Then this part, what you see here, these three parts together, that is gynoecium. That is a female reproductive part. It is also called pistil. Pistil. Okay. Same thing, one by one I will draw. Male and female reproductive parts separately I will draw. Only male reproductive part, that is androecium, I will draw. Androecium is a male reproductive part, what you see here. Totally 6 are there in this picture. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It can be many. Okay, it can be many in number. It varies from flower to flower. Androecium is also called stamen. It will have two parts. One is long elongated structure and other one is structure like this. This knob like structure on the top we call anther, and at the lower side the stalk like structure is called filament. Okay, so together the entire structure is a male reproductive part called stamen or androecium. Then let us see, female reproductive part is called gynoecium. See the spelling? It is not pronounced as gynoecium, it is pronounced as gynoecium, but O is there. Remember, gynoecium is also called pistil. There will be three parts. So one part will be knob-like structure on the top, the other one enlarged structure like this. So this part is called ovary. The enlarged part is called ovary. Later this ovary becomes fruit, what we eat. So that is a ovary. Later, after maturation, when it grows, it becomes a fruit. Then this is a long slender structure called a style, and this is a knob-like structure called a stigma. So together, ovary, style, stigma, together entire part is called gynoecium. Okay, so now what we have to learn? We just started with pre-fertilization events. Parts of a flower which you have already learnt in high school classes. Once again we recalled because it is there in the chapter in second year biology also. When we started this chapter starts with this particular picture of flower where we have to learn parts of flower. And now under pre-fertilization events, first step is gametogenesis, that is formation of gametes. It is different for male and different for female. First let us study how male gametes are produced. Okay, so here This is a male reproductive part, that is called andrecium. Now, within the anther, what will be there? Inside the anther, what is there? Inside the anther, you see very small particles. Okay, small, very small. Each anther, if you take cross section, you will see many small, like a chalk dust, very small, millions of small structures that will be called pollen grains. Pollen grains. Okay, so this pollen grains inside contains male gametes. So pollen grain is not a male gamete. Pollen grain is a male gamete containing structure. Meaning, suppose pollen grains structure will be like this. Each pollen grain, which is microscopic, very small, like a dust particle, very small, millions will be there in the anther. Each pollen grain will be having this shape. You already know this. Okay, so what is pollen grain called as then? Pollen grain is not a male gamete. Pollen grain is called male gametophyte. We will learn now in detail. Let us see what it is called. Let us learn. Okay, so pollen grain is called male gametophyte. What is the meaning of male gametophyte? Gametophyte means, phyta means plant. Here it is a structure containing male gametes. And if pollen grain is not a male gamete, then what is male gamete? If pollen grain is a male gametophyte, gametophyte means gamete containing structure, then what it contains? These two are the nuclei present. This is a vegetative cell, generative cell. Two cells are there within the pollen grain. And the nuclei are called vegetative nuclei and generative nuclei. And these two nuclei, what is there? These two are the gametes. So, pollen grain is not a gamete. Pollen grain is gamete containing structure. Meaning, within the pollen grains, there will be male gametes. Then which are male gametes? These two nuclei are male gametes. Where they are present? Inside the pollen grain. So, pollen grain is a gamete containing structure, so it is called gametophyte. So what is gametophyte then? Gametophyte is a structure which contains gametes. Okay, or correct meaning is gametophyte is a structure which bears or contains male gametes. Okay, then so now we will start first process, first event of sexual reproduction, that is pre-fertilization. What happens before fertilization? Under pre-fertilization, two stages. One is gametogenesis, that is formation of gametes, and second one is gamete transfer. This chapter is very big chapter. To discuss gametogenesis process, only 4 to 5 pages we have to learn. So first we will learn gametogenesis. So first under gametogenesis, formation of male gamete is separate, female gamete is separate. Formation of male gamete formation is called microsporogenesis. Okay, before I discuss this, I have to tell you, already I have put message in the group, in WhatsApp group, that 24th this month, that is July 24th, 24/7/2021, Saturday, We will be having a class test, which will be 20 marks test. Time given will be 45 minutes. Only 20 marks you have to write. The chapter included is only one chapter, that is Human Health and Diseases. Very interesting, beautiful chapter where you have learnt about drugs and alcohol abuse also. So very interesting topic. Then we have learnt different diseases and symptoms of the disease, including cancer and AIDS also. So beautiful, interesting chapter. So please go through the chapter thoroughly. Okay, so every word of the chapter you read and be prepared for class test on 24/7/2021, that is 24th July, 24th of this month. Okay, so we will continue. So formation of male gamete in the flower is called microsporogenesis. Why? Because male gametes are produced within the pollen grains, and pollen grain is called microspore. Why pollen grain is called microspore? Because pollen grain is very small in size, like a dust particle. Micro means what? Small. Spore means round structure. Very small, like a dust particle, like a chalk dust. Very small particle, very small material, so it is called microspore. So now what we are learning is how pollen grains are produced inside the anther. That process is called microsporogenesis. Microspore means pollen grains. So process of formation of pollen grains within the anther is called microsporogenesis. Simple, because pollen grain is also called microspore. So formation of pollen grain is nothing but formation of microspore, because pollen grain is only called microspore. Why pollen grain is called microspore? Because pollen grain is very small in size, so it is called microspore. Micro means small. So process of formation of pollen grains in anther is called microsporogenesis. Okay. What about female gamete formation? Because we are learning gametogenesis. There is male gamete also, female gamete also. We learnt male gamete formation, so we have to learn female gamete formation also, because gametes will be two, male and female. First, if we learn male gamete formation, that is microsporogenesis, so we have to learn female gamete formation also. So female gamete formation, which we are going to learn, is megasporogenesis. Mega or macrosporogenesis also you can say. Both are same. Macrosporogenesis. Mega means big. Macro means also same, big only. That doesn't mean that egg will be like a football size. No, it will not be like a football size, but small. But compared to pollen grain is like a dust particle. Compared to pollen grain, egg will be slightly bigger. So with your naked eyes you can see the egg at least. Okay, even pollen grains also you can see like a dust particle. So compared to pollen grain, egg size is slightly bigger. So because of the size bigger than the pollen grain, egg is called megaspore. Pollen grain is small, so it is called microspore. Egg is slightly bigger, so it is called megaspore. Mega means what? Big. Like some stars are called mega stars. No? Mega means big. Mega event we say, very big event. Like in Telugu film industry, Chiranjeevi is a mega star, he is called. Means very big star, meaning. Okay, mega means big here. So formation of egg or ovum. Okay, so that is called megasporogenesis. Okay, so one by one we will learn now. That is microsporogenesis, number one. Okay, so we have already discussed more than 30 minutes. So we will continue this concept in next class. Okay, so keep watching my classes. Thank you.